5% healed. He's got to overcome the mental pain.
Colson ran for over 100 yards last week as Adam Pac-Man Jones gets it. He's the game breaker in special teams for West Virginia, and this is exactly what the Mountaineers needed.
We talked about a fast start in the open, Pam. That's not a better way to get it than a 50-yard return to midfield.
About a 56-yard return for Adam Pac-Man Jones. If it was up to him, he would be out there every play. Offense, defense, and special teams.
This wall set up perfectly. Following the lead blocker. Guys are getting their head on a swivel. Finding their blocks. Pursuing down the field. Adam Pac-Man Jones does a nice job to start this Mountaineer team.
Rasheed Marshall is a senior. One last chance to beat Maryland in his great career. The quarterback who grew up in Major Harris's neighborhood in Pittsburgh can beat you with his feet as well as with his arm. And now starting out on Maryland's 47, and there's Colson, and he busts through, keeps his legs moving. He picks up 8 yards on first down. And you just saw Jason Colson starting for KJ Harris for the second straight game. Keep your eye too on number 5, Chris Henry. The Big East Rookie of the Year last year has big play potential. Mountaineers have a veteran offensive line center. Tim Brown got a 6-year of eligibility. He tore his Achilles tendon not once but twice last season. And that offensive line doing a good job clearing the way for Colson, 7 yards on first down. Go right back to Colson, and he is through the Maryland defense for a first down. Chris Kelly coming up to make the stop from the strong safety. Maryland defense has been shoved around the last couple of plays. First down, West Virginia. Marshall now out of the shotgun, gives it to Colson, and this time not much. Merriman is there, maybe a gain of a yard.
Yeah, Maryland's trying to get 8 guys in the box and trying to stuff the run when they get in that shotgun set, but Coach Rodriguez has moved more to the I formation instead of a spread set the last couple of weeks, and he's asking these guys to get off the line of scrimmage quickly, starting with Tim Brown at center and flanked by 2 big tackles.
Rodriguez, the Big East Coach of the Year last year. They were co-champions, had that heartbreaking loss to Miami. In his 4th season at his alma mater, he is 0-4 against Maryland, and there you see some of the backup quarterbacks signaling in the offensive signals to Rasheed Marshall. 2nd and 9 for the Mountaineers. Marshall, plenty of time, all the time in the world. He has a man open in the end zone. A flag goes down. Brandon Miles appears to have possibly been interfered with. Garrick McPherson in on the single coverage. This is an ACC crew. Ron Cherry is our referee, our head ref.
That's a tough call right there, Pam.
Wow, not against McPherson, but against Miles.
Must have happened a lot earlier. Oh, there it is, the latter part of the play. Just extends his arm. Brandon Miles had every opportunity to catch his football, number 1. Number 2, he just extended his arm. He didn't impede the defender, McPherson, from trying to get to the ball. It's a judgment call by that back judge.
Oh, that is a very tough call.
Offensive side of the ball stops the tempo of the West Virginia offense. They like to get into a rhythmic passing game, running game right at the line of scrimmage.
So now it is 2nd and 24 from midfield for West Virginia, and Rasheed Marshall calls a timeout after taking a gander at West Virginia. Takes a timeout and now faces 2nd and 24 from Maryland's 49-yard line. Big pass interference penalty against the offense, against Brandon Miles, taking the ball all the way back to midfield.
You know, Brandon Miles is a down the field receiver. He's the guy who can get vertical in a heartbeat.
He's a junior from the state of Virginia. Came in today with only 2 catches, but boy, a big play guy. 2 catches for 108 yards on the season.
They've already made a change. They put Foxworth on McPherson.
Foxworth probably the best cover corner. So here we go now on 2nd and 24. Marshall can run. Good coverage by the Terrapins. This is in Maryland territory because of a terrific kickoff return by Pac-Man Jones. Can they salvage it? Marshall takes off, and he is going to be stopped Brady, a junior punter, but this is his first year kicking for the Mountaineers, and the snap is errant. Maryland will get the ball in terrific field position. So everything that could go wrong has gone wrong. Milton Harris making a big play. And the Terps get the ball in great field position.
I don't know if that was an inadvertent snap by the long snapper. Yeah, they were going to run a fake. Actually hit the up back right in the shoulder pad. Actually, his hand hit it and deflected it. He's trying to be aggressive and block his ensuing rusher. His hand gets in the way. Big opportunity for Maryland.
Scott Fleming is the long snapper. They take pride in how good things have gone for them in that department, but that was a disaster. Terps had the ball for the first time. And nothing doing for Josh Allen. And the ball, West Virginia thinks they have it. And they do. So what a turn of events here. We've already had, what are we, we're not even 4 minutes into the game and we've had huge plays.
Yeah, Josh Allen tries to get up inside. Someone punched that ball out. Could have been Ben Lynch, the fine nose tackle. Number 92, right in the middle of your screen, Ben Lynch, fighting off blocks.
And
the ball just squirted out of there, Pam.
Yeah, Mike Lorello coming up with the fumble recovery, and the ball goes right back to the Mountaineers. So both teams unable to take advantage of great field position, and we see K.J. Harris for the first time. He's in the backfield, but does not get it. Instead, Colson gets another carry as we send you to Matt. All righty, Matt, obviously that is exactly what Michigan needs after that loss last week to Notre Dame. Braylon Edwards, big play guy. Big play here to Miles. Turns around and can't bring it in. The fans are screaming for an interference against Garrett McPherson, but no flag.
You know, that was one of those plays, Pam, where might have had the official thinking, well, is it tight? Is it tight? Let it play a little bit. Garrett McPherson is a speed guy, speed defensive back. Again, Brandon Miles is a guy that goes vertically down the field. McPherson had great coverage on that play.
McPherson, in fact, is the fastest guy on this Maryland team. This is an ACC officiating crew.
I like the shots they're taking up the field, though.
Yeah, Rasheed Marshall going for some big plays. He's had Miles a couple of times, but unable to complete them yet. Goes again this time to Chris Henry, and Henry slips a tackle, picks up a first down. There's a flag as Henry was hit out of bounds well after the play was over. Dequel Jackson, usually a steady force in the middle, coming up with a bonehead late hit.
Yeah, Chris Henry and McPherson here just runs a quick turnout route, 2 yards down the field, slips a tackle, finds a sideline, jumps out of bounds. This is Chris Kelly, number 2 for Maryland. He's a talker, he's a hitter, he gets in your face and challenges you every play.
The officials having another discussion on the field. And the fans are losing their patience with him.
They got both of them there.
Dead ball, personal foul. After the play was over, number 52 Maryland, 15-yard penalty. Dead ball, personal foul. After the play was over, number 5, I'm sorry, on the offense. The result of the play is a first down. Those dead ball fouls offset.
Wow, so Chris Henry with a little retaliation, and that's huge, an offsetting situation.
He's pretty much out of bounds, 2 yards outside the sideline. There's a retaliation there. There's a push. We talked about in the open pass, such a big rivalry. These officials trying to take control of the game, get the emotions back on the field.
An offset, so it's 1st and 10 for West Virginia at 39. Henry had a 15-yard penalty last week for celebrating after a touchdown catch, and that retaliation got him an offsetting penalty, cost him 15 more. Chris Kelly making the stop on Jason Colson, and only picks up a yard or 2. So in this rivalry, we kind of expected this. The West Virginia players, Coach Rich Rodriguez said they have really been pointing to this game all season long. Whenever he sees anybody in West Virginia, they say, you got to beat Maryland. What about Maryland? Go get Maryland.
It must be, you know, death-defying when he goes out and recruits and he's competing against Maryland. What do you guys do against Maryland the past couple of years?
Yep. K.J. Harris in for the Mountaineers has yet to get a carry. He does now on the pitch. Gets around the corner. Merriman gets him high. Foxworth low. But K.J. Harris with his very first carry gets about 4 yards, only carried twice last season. You see that even with just 7 yards on 2 carries last year, the season is ridiculous because of what he did in week 1.
Yeah, and he mentioned to us that he could have gone for an extra 20 yards and try to get that all-time record. But, you know, interesting point, Pam, 377. The first line did a tremendous job in the first half, and the second line did a nice job paving the way for his record.
First 300-yard game in West Virginia history. He had 337 yards against East Carolina. Picked up 5 on his first carry today. And now Marshall, under pressure, goes down. The Terrapins get a sack. Conrad Bolston coming up with his first sack of the season, the sophomore from Burtonsville, Maryland.
Yeah, there's going to be a war down here in the pit. Guys are struggling. One thing that happens out here in the defensive line, he had great coverage in the secondary. Bolston comes free. Rasheed Marshall does an indecision in his passing game. Should have just thrown it away and look for another play.
But there is a flag down around the 28-yard line. Quite a few penalties already early in this game. And this is big since it was 3rd and 5. And block below the waist called against West Virginia.
I don't know how you can call block below the waist, block below the waist, because the quarterback was still in the pocket.
So Rich Rodriguez
on the play, any illegal block against the offense. Number 7, the penalty is declined. 4th down.
It's Brandon Miles, the wide receiver, who was called for the pass interference earlier today. So perhaps again, perhaps we will get the first punt. A botch snap on Phil Brady's first attempt gave Maryland the ball at the 50, but then Josh Allen fumbled on the first carry, the first play for Maryland. So here we go again. Steve Suter waits back at his 10. A terrific punt returner for Maryland. And they're kicking to him. That right there is an upset. Suter's not going to fair catch it. And he goes down. A great punt by Brady. Ball is loose, but well after the whistle. A terrific hang time punt by Brady. Jay Henry making the stop. Good coverage by the Mountaineers as the dangerous Steve Suter is stopped. Lost a couple of yards on that punt return attempt. And Maryland will start from its own 7. Pinned back for its second possession of the game. So we've had a lot of action so far, but no scoring. We'll be right back. Terps have the ball. Maryland gets the ball for the second time in this game. Their first play resulted in a fumble by Josh Allen that West Virginia recovered. Joel Statham is a first-year starter for Maryland, and he is hearing it from these West Virginia fans. They give the ball right back to Allen, and Allen, who fumbled on his first attempt, gets nothing. No. They got a concussion during practice on Thursday, so Crummy, a youngster, gets the start. 2nd and 10, Statham's first pass. Oh, that's a dangerous pass, and it's picked off. Adam Pac-Man Jones, the big play guy, makes his second big play of the game already, and West Virginia will have it 1st and goal.
That's not a way to start off in your first road game. Joe Statham forced that ball down the field. Adam Pac-Man Jones is just playing center field. They went max protect. They only put 2 receivers out in the particular route, forced it into coverage. Jones reads the quarterback's eyes the whole way, gets to the sideline, finds his blockers. Big turnaround for West Virginia. Oh
boy, Statham, that was just a terrible decision to even make that throw. There were at least 3 blue jerseys around the intended receiver. Pac-Man, the leading tackler on this team, now has his first interception of the season. 1st and goal from the 7 for the Mountaineers. K.J. Harris gets it, and the big power back goes into the end zone. West Virginia strikes first.
That's a long time coming for these Mountaineer fans. Getting on the scoreboard first was very pivotal for this team.
In the last 4 games against the Terps, they got into huge holes against them. And getting that first score, as you mentioned, and that's got to be good for the West Virginia fans to see K.J. Harris with that sore hammy able to come in. Looked like a good burst there and a lot of power to get into the end zone. So Brad Cooper to make it 7-0. And the Mountaineers doing exactly what they wanted to do. It was a little crazy getting to this point, but they score first. 5th touchdown of the year already for K.J. Harris. The Mountaineers up 7-0. First time West Virginia's had the lead. Brad Cooper kicking it off. A short kickoff that is taken by JoJo Walker, one of the up men, and he fumbles it. But that at least goes out of bounds. Crazy game here. Well, Michigan offense struggled big time last week, tied up against San Diego State. Maryland has run 3 plays and has 2 turnovers. They're down 7-0. Statham threw an interception last time out, gives it to Sammy Maldonado, and he gets maybe a yard. Maldonado is a transfer from Ohio State. Let's take a look at this West Virginia defense. Nose tackle Ben Lynch, one of the leaders of the Mountaineers. He is back after sitting out last week with a strained shoulder. Scott Jerko was not recruited by a single Division 1A team. The Morgantown native has gone from walk-on to starter. And Adam Pac-Man Jones has already shown you what a big play guy he is with the 21-yard interception return. He also had a kickoff return of over 45 yards. And this is bad news for the Terrapins, as Andrew Crummy, who started only because Russell Bonham, he threw a very costly interception on his first pass today, only pass so far. His second pass is, Jerko coming in. And they're saying it's an incomplete pass, but boy, Scott Jerko, we talked about him, the walk-on, nobody wanted him. Rich Rodriguez said, come here, I'll give you the best chance, and he's made the most of his opportunity.
Well, he's a hometown hero, number 33, Jerko. Nobody blocks him. He should get to the quarterback. That's how you introduce yourself to that young quarterback, Joe Statham. How are you doing today, sir? Boom. That's a pin. That's a turf monster pin. 1, 2, 3. But Statham gets back up for a big 3rd down. And
that was indeed ruled an incomplete pass. So 3rd and 9 for Maryland. And this crowd, which has been waiting 4 years to beat the Terps, is fired up. Pressure up the middle. Statham gets it away. And the receiver, Derek Fenner, was locked up with the defensive back as it falls incomplete.
Pam, there's no rhythm at all by the Maryland offense. Statham is looking left, looking right. He had an errant throw for the initial interception. There was no timing in that comeback route. Settle him down a little bit. You got an experienced offensive line. Try to get that running game going.
Well, Statham, who the Maryland coaches said made terrific strides in last week's win over Temple compared to Northern Illinois when he fumbled the ball 4 times in week 1, has been a little shaky so far today. Adam Podlish gets it off. Pac-Man picks it up on the bounce, and his knees hit. So at least he didn't hurt Maryland that time. 15 yards on 31 carries against Michigan. I don't think anybody thought Notre Dame could win that game, and now their whole season is turning around. This is a very winnable game today against Michigan State.
Well, there were a lot of guys in that locker room who thought they could, and they went out and did it.
So West Virginia taking over on the 9. K.J. Harris showing that his hammy is okay. Let's go back down to Dave Ryan. Dave.
Pam, looks like he is doing very well. We meant to mention at the top of the broadcast that KJ underwent aggressive therapy for the hamstring injury this week. 5 times a day, starting at 6:30 in the morning every day. That therapy went late in the last night at the team hotel, and early this morning it was upgraded from about 70% effective to 85 to 90 by the trainers. KJ's got a lot of confidence. Looks like he's playing much less pain, more pain-free now.
Yeah, David, you're right. That confidence factor was what the coaches were most concerned about. Oh, that's almost picked off. Garrick McPherson stepped in front of it, and if he would have been able to get that baby, that would have been a touchdown for the Terps. But K.J. Harris, again, the coaches were concerned, and the team doctor we spoke to yesterday said that he couldn't have hurt it any worse by playing today. It was just a matter of Harris believing it.
Well, if the running game's going well, you might as well go out to the perimeter and try to get Chris Henry involved. You got to have better ball location in order for Henry to catch that pass.
And McPherson, again, the fastest player on this Maryland squad. Runs about a 4.2940. And Harris, that time, is bottled up as we not obviously, but they're going to do it. Phil Brady coming in. kicked a 34-yarder last time out. Steve Suter on his own 48-yard line, waiting for the punt.
Angle punts are a premium right here. Kicking into a nice breeze.
That whistles down. The delay of game against West Virginia.
Snap, delay of game, 38 on the kicking team. It's a 5-yard penalty.
In a 41-7 win, and 2 years ago here, he also took one back for a touchdown. For more on Suter, let's go down to Dave Ryan.
Plain and simple, Steve Suter is fearless, Pam. He tells us he will never take a fair catch. Hasn't taken one in his career, and he's always sure with that kind of confidence and courage that he'll hold up against everything. Now, he also holds up against severe knee injuries. He's had 6 knee surgeries in his career. Never knows if a cut or a move will tweak the injury. The Maryland trainers told me before the game, imagine walking 24/7 with a rock in your shoe. That's the kind of pain Steve Suter is in.
And it is amazing. His speed seems to be down a little bit, but you know a guy who's never taken a fair catch in his life, he's not going to let a 6 knee injury stop him from playing.
Let alone a stone in your shoe.
Sammy Maldonado gets the carry, only picks up about 1. Suter had that 80-yard punt return for a touchdown here back in 2002, and he's another impressive student from Maryland, as he has already graduated.
Yeah, Coach Friedgen just loves his character athlete here. He's been a leader all 4 years, just a warrior. No fair catches, rocks and shoes, bad knees. He just tapes it up, straps it on, goes to work.
In fact, he had a GPA, grade point average of 4.0 last year. Maryland's offense, a GPA of about 0.0 so far. 7 plays, 3 yards, 2 turnovers. 2nd and 9. And that ball is tipped and almost picked off. Pac-Man almost had his second. Adam Lenort, the linebacker, able to get his hands on it. Boy, Pac-Man's thinking that one got away.
Starts at the line of scrimmage. Defenders are getting their hands up, tipping the ball. Adam Jones reacting after the throw. He's just a ball hawk. He knows where the football is. He's got great instincts. Always moving towards the goal line.
First name is Adam, but nobody calls him that. Pac-Man is his nickname, apparently because he really knew how to attack a bottle when he was a baby.
He loves the game, too. He loves the game Pac-Man.
And he plays football like it, too. He's always trying to devour folks. West Virginia sends a lot of people, and finally Maryland completes a pass, a nifty reception for Rich Parson, and the Terps have their first down.
Well executed play on both sides of the football. They're bringing that zone blitz by the West Virginia defense. They do a nice job picking up.
Parson is hurt. His trainer Sandy Worth in the red shirt helping him. Boy, Parson with a very painful first down catch.
Looks like I got a helmet right in the back by the kidney.
1st and 10 for the Terps on the 33. Maldonado standing behind Statham. Little play action. Maldonado with a good block, but Statham runs out of time. And he gets hit high and is tackled down. Pac-Man Jones coming in. And you see Schmidt from Maryland taking exception. That's Kyle Schmidt, the center, one of the leaders of this Terrapin team, going right up to Pac-Man and talking to him about that high hit.
We talked about the rivalry in the open. I mean, this is more than rivalry. This is bragging rights. Statement game. Statham does a nice job. Sometimes he stays in the pocket a little bit too much. He identifies the receivers not open down the field. Tucks the ball and tries to get positive yards.
2nd and 5, as he was able to get 5 positive yards on that play. Now out of the shotgun, but they run out of it as Sammy Maldonado gets the first down for the Terps. So Maldonado, his first career one.
The players love playing for Coach Friedgen. He's just a wonderful human being.
1st and 10 for the Terps from the 22. Maldonado gets it back, keeps his legs going, and he picks up about 3 more yards. Friedgen was hired by...
They hired him previous years. He might be 40 consecutive wins.
But at least they hired him. Maryland fans very happy for that. 2nd and 8. Statham, little pump, and then goes very high, and it's picked off again. Another interception for Pac-Man Jones. his second pick of the day as Statham threw that one high and hard.
Not a good start for a young quarterback coming into a hostile environment. Joe Statham does a nice job pumping it. A lot of times when quarterbacks pump the ball, they don't reset their feet, and the ball has a tendency to drift on them. Pac-Man Jones does a nice job as a ball hawk, finding the ball, finding the receiver, getting to that sideline.
So 2 interceptions now for Pac-Man, as it looked like Statham was trying to go to Rob Abiamiri. He also had Suter a little bit farther down the field, but it has just been a disastrous first quarter for this Maryland offense. Fortunately, though, for them, they're only down 7-0. Could be worse. K.J. Harris, who scored the touchdown for West Virginia, gets about 8 yards on that first down carry. Harris, 25 years old, played some minor league baseball for 3 years. Then went to junior college for a couple of years in Kansas, finally ended up here at West Virginia, and what a way, 337 yards against East Carolina. That is just unbelievable in his first game.
Maybe he's a little exhausted. That's why that hamstring got a little tweaked in that last week's game against UCF.
You see him fired up on the sidelines as Jason Colson comes in now to take the next snap and gets the ball. And Colson gets another West Virginia first down.
You know, I get the sense, Pam, that everyone's kind of settled into their game plan now. Coach Blackney on a defensive side of the ball from Maryland, and Coach Rodriguez calling the plays along with press box help. Win in first down is what Coach Blackney wants to do defensively. Right now, West Virginia has a tempo and they're moving the ball.
And Coach Blackney has had success in his, as Rob Armstrong was the nose tackle, jumped very early for Maryland and made contact. Coach Blackney, there you see him, former head coach at Bowling Green, a terrific assistant defensive coordinator at Ohio State before that, and really has had success.
Contact, offside, defense, 5 yards, still first down.
And too early.
But Marshall and company are up 7-0. And they have a 1st and 5 after the offsides on Armstrong. Plenty of time. All the time in the world is going deep for Henry, and it's just beyond his outstretched fingertips. Chris Kelly running stride for stride.
That's how you win on first down, I guess. Throw an incomplete pass offensively.
I guess 1st and 5, what the heck? You're 2nd and 5, you're already in good shape, and you go for the home run ball. Well,
there was nobody holding the free safety. He was just back there playing center field and was hoping Chris Henry would outrun the secondary.
So now 2nd and 5 after that incompletion. K.J. Harris back in the backfield, and he gets it and is stopped about a yard short of the first down marker.
The fans all fired up at Conrad Bolston's throwing people around after the play. He and Ryan Thomas had a little scuffle. But K.J. Harris, you know, Pam, you talked to him about earlier. This guy has a 47-inch vertical jump. You know, this is a statement game for him because he came onto the map with the first game of the year, and now he wants to do something on national TV.
Now a 3rd and 1. Harris still in the backfield. Easily gets the first down and then takes David Holloway for a ride. And there you see the power of K.J. Harris. Holloway is 6'2", 220, and he was just carrying him around like he had a towel on his back.
Yeah, he mentioned to us earlier yesterday when we were having lunch that the only way they can get him down is when he turns sideways. They have leverage to grab his shoulder pad. He just needs to get his pad leveled down a little bit more and fight through those tacklers. But guys, he's an intimidating person when you see him up close first because he has so much excitement and players just love being around him.
Very exuberant, and you're right, the players kind of feed off of that, and he picks up another first down. Now Brian Wright gets his first carry as a flag comes flying in. Wright, sophomore from Romney, West Virginia. DeQuell Jackson on the stop, but we'll check out the flag. And it's coming back a hold against West Virginia. West Virginia, of course, with some, boy, you talk about running back university. There was a good ones coming through here. Avon Coburn, Quincy Wilson in recent years.
Holding. 60 on the offense. A 10-yard penalty, still first down.
He can return.
Wow, so Parson taking off a very good blocking receiver for the Terps, made a spectacular catch for a first down, but paid for it. After the penalty, it's 1st and 20 for the Mountaineers. There's Marshall showing you the nifty footwork. K.J. Harris tries to throw a block, but that's a 10-yard gain for Marshall. And that's what has made him so dangerous here for 3 years.
Not only made him dangerous, it just kind of accentuates the running game. He's a force to be reckoned with in the pocket. He goes to his primary, secondary receiver, pointing out his blocks down the field. Does a nice job getting down underneath the tacklers.
In fact, he is one of the best rushers in the history of the Big East as far as quarterbacks are concerned. West Virginia taking advantage of some Terrapin mistakes, up 7-0. First quarter is in the books. Maryland trailing West Virginia 7-0. The Terrapins had 3 turnovers in the first quarter, and boy, they're really fortunate to only be down by a touchdown.
They could have had a 4th turnover by Mr. Pac-Man Jones.
He has been all over the field defensively. 2nd and 10 from the 40 as the Mountaineers start off the second quarter. K.J. Harris, who scored the touchdown, gets the ball. Oh boy, and he just hurdles over people and then takes a couple of guys with him. Loses the football, however, at the end of the play. And the Maryland Terrapins get it. And also in there to help knock the ball loose, so the Terps get the turnover as West Virginia was driving. 1st and 10 from the 33 for Statham, who's thrown 2 interceptions today. Josh Allen getting a little bit of running room on the right side, takes it up for about a 7-yard gain for the Terps.
Tackle made by number 92.
Mike coming back from some heart surgery. We miss you and wish you well, Mike.
Certainly, he's a wonderful, wonderful man.
Great broadcaster and a better person, and a big Mountaineer fan. I bet he has on his blue and gold right now. Nice move there by Maldonado. Little bit of speed, little bit of power, and a huge gain. But he loses the ball at the end. I heard a whistle, so the ball is down. Ball eventually goes out of bounds, but boy, that's a 40-yard gain. You would think it was raining and the ball was soaking wet here.
He took the
longest of Maldonado's career. Played 1 year at Ohio State in 2001, 61 carries for 218 yards there, and then transferred over to Maryland. His nickname is Sammy the Bull, and he looked like it on that 40-yard run. Go right back. And that time Maldonado is tackled down by Pac-Man Jones. Pac-Man seems to be in on every play, and he also has something to say to Maldonado at the end of it.
Well, he just wanted to introduce himself to him. Unfortunately, when I can make that interception, I know Maldonado can't catch me, so I might as well take him down in the open field. Good open field tackle by Pac-Man Jones, and he's a guy that looks to play in the future. So he's doing a nice job here for the Mountaineers.
Remember, Pac-Man is just a junior as well. I mean, he is just a terrific player for West Virginia. 2nd and 7. Josh Allen now in the backfield. And he gets it. Allen. A couple of tough yards as he is stopped short in the first down. Give him 6 on that game. Adam Lenort coming up and making the stop. Lenort from Oil City, Pennsylvania. A couple of guys on this West Virginia team from Oil City, an area you know well. A tough, good football area up there.
Well, just north of Pittsburgh, and Ben Lynch and Adam Lenort played high school football together. They're doing a little tandem work at the line of scrimmage in the linebacking area. Good players, good senior players for West Virginia.
And now this West Virginia defense facing a 3rd and 1. Abiamiri in motion. Allen stopped in the backfield. What a play. Lenort, the pride of Oil City, coming in and making the big stop.
Just on cue, Pam. Talking about Lenort, leading tackler on this defense. Crowds the line of scrimmage. 3rd and 1, they're going to crowd the line of scrimmage. They get penetration. Ben Lynch does a nice job. Lenort over the top. Stops Allen for no gain.
So Nick Novak, one of the best kickers in the history, certainly of Maryland, as well as the ACC, coming in to try a 31-yard field goal. And Nick, the kick, living up to his...
Very costly, but they got something positive. Coach Friedgen's heart's resting a little bit easier right now.
At least they are on the board. 3 Maryland turnovers, only leading to 7 West Virginia points. Brandon Miles with the kickoff return as he is knocked down at the 25. Welcome to the ACC, Virginia Tech, taking on Duke, their first ACC game, and they're having trouble with the Blue Devils. KJ Harris picks up about 5 yards on first down for the Mountaineers. Of course, West Virginia staying in the Big East, and Rich Rodriguez said that a lot of media especially saying, don't you really want to beat an ACC team now that they've raided the Big East? And he says he doesn't think about that. He's just trying to stay focused, right? One game at a time.
One game at a time. As a former player for West Virginia, he knows what this game's all about, so he wants to take care of business today first.
And this is not unusual. West Virginia with 20 rushes to only 4 passes. They have been very heavy on the rush side all season long. Third in the country in rushing coming into this game. There's a pass. Marshall airing it out. Good coverage downfield. A little bit of late separation that time, but Miles unable to catch up to it. And Garrett McPherson, we've seen him play a mean corner so far for Maryland. A couple of pass breakups for him, and he's stride for stride.
And one thing West Virginia is doing, they're trying to stretch the field, so it's going to open up their running game. But they need to complete a few of these long passes down the field. Rasheed Marshall has a strong arm, but yeah, I question his accuracy sometimes. Just needs to give his receivers a better chance to catch it.
Well, Rasheed, in fact, just 1 for 5 for 10 yards so far in this game.
And that was a completion to Chris Henry before the penalty, or after the penalty.
So now 3rd and 5. West Virginia's converted 2 of their 5. They go back to the money man, KJ Harris, and KJ picks up the first down and a heck of a lot more as he is taken down just short of the 45-yard line by Ray Custis, senior from Germantown, Maryland, but that's 14 more for KJ.
Dan Moses, left guard, does a nice job getting up to the next interior linebacker. KJ Harris does a nice job just keeping his feet running. He's tucking that ball a little bit extra now after the last fumble in the last series.
KJ Harris now 10 carries for 62 yards, and he has a touchdown run. Took it in from 7 yards out midway through the first quarter. There you see the numbers.
We'll have to watch his endurance as the game gets longer.
He played 2 snaps last week and then had the hamstring injury, and that time he tiptoes over a lineman for a yard or so. For more on KJ, let's go back to Dave Ryan.
Well, Pam, you mentioned it. Out of high school, KJ Harris spent 3 years playing minor league baseball in the Texas Rangers organization. He was an outfielder playing with it against the likes of Indians pitchers CC Sabathia, Marcus Giles, Rafael Furcal of the Braves, among others. Says the experience really taught him patience, long bus rides in the minor leagues, maturity. He says he probably would not have been ready for college right out of high school. And after all, he's really mature now. Guy's 25 years old.
Yeah, in fact, he says he still acts like a kid, but he's really enjoying the experience. He says, man, I'm in college. This is great. I don't really have to be responsible, except for when I play football. He's really, as Dave said, appreciates everything that has built up to his senior year at West Virginia. That's a completion. Tough to miss Jason Colson. It was wide open. First down, West Virginia. You want Maryland, excited about Maryland coming in, and you got Nebraska right up the road at Pitt. What a great weekend. Jason Colson, he takes a couple of white shirts with him.
You know, 2 plays ago, they did a nice job faking the ball. Colson here, the running back. What happens, it frees the linebackers inside. As the ball snapped, I'm sure they worked out on this in practice a number of times. Colson comes up the sideline, nobody picks him up. Could have been a huge play for West Virginia. Makes the completion, runs out of bounds.
Colson coming in with 3 catches on the season. 6'1", 215-pound sophomore from Rochester, New York. As West Virginia just stockpiles quality running backs. 2nd and 5 from the 36. Oh, and that Dequel Jackson coming up and making the stop as that gets now with the Minnesota Vikings. 3rd and 5. And KJ Harris, flag comes down late. KJ Harris tackled again by Jackson for the first down, but it's coming back. That's a hold. But that's happened a couple of times here to the Mountaineers, Mike.
It's just unfortunate. You know, coaches just, their hair gets gray every time they see a holding call on a running play. We have a great running back in KJ Harris. Allow him to run through the tackler. You don't have to hold on a running play.
Offense, number 68. That's a spot foul, 10 yards. We'll replay the down.
Big 3rd down opportunity for West Virginia.
3rd and 11 after the holding penalty. Negated a first down run by Harris. Plenty of time for Marshall, and this time again on target. Jason Colson has had tremendous success coming out of the backfield and making catches. That's a first down, 16 yards.
Nice execution here by the offense. They're only going to rush 3 guys on defense. Got a spy guy right here. They're dropping everyone else in the zone. Got 8 guys covering. Hit your check down. Let them run after the catch. Very positive yardage. Nice job by Rasheed Marshall.
Colson, who ran for 100 yards, replacing Harris in the starting lineup last week. Doing a job out of the backfield, catching passes. 2 catches for 30 yards today. That's a career high for yardage. His previous best 2 catches for 25 yards, and that time Colson not so much try to come up with something.
They're trying to get a stop. They're going to bring some pressure here.
2nd and 9. High snap. Oh, and down goes KJ Harris as he is wrapped
Hard inside, not let that penetration occur.
with a big 6'5", 290-pound guard. That was a 4-yard loss. That is a gain up to Brandon Miles, but a flag is down on the far sideline. And West Virginia has been plagued by penalties in this short, young season.
They might have had 1 extra guy in the field. Guys sprinting off the field, trying to make it 11. Coach Blackney, he's trying to get into Rich Rodriguez's head, trying to get 12 guys on the field. And it's one of those substitution things, the personnel matches, and you're in and you're out. Just a communication problem by the Maryland defense.
Illegal substitution on the defense. 5 yards. We'll replay the down.
Yeah, we got a posse of guys trying to get off the field. Who's in? Who's out? You go in. Before you know it, the officials counting 1, 2, 3. There's 12. Throw the flag.
They had 13 on the field there for a while. Way too many, even in Canada. Now 3rd and 8. As that penalty goes against the Terps.
Gonna bring the heat again and challenge Marshall.
Right up the middle, they get him, but Marshall. And the offense, as Marshall gives it a little punt. Yards for a field goal, and they have the ball back again. 5.5 minutes left to go in the 2nd quarter. 2 unbeaten teams, both ranked in the top 25. Bill Statham did not throw a single pass on that last drive. Josh Allen missed tackle in the backfield, but Allen still was able to go forward for only about a yard. Statham so far today has thrown 6 passes and has only completed 1 of them for 11 yards and has thrown 2 interceptions.
That was one of Maryland's staple plays. They call it the power G play. They've run it 4 or 5 times today, and obviously West Virginia knows they're going to run it. It's up to them to stop, and they had an opportunity to stop in the backfield. They ran through a tackle again.
Allen remains in the backfield for the Terps. Statham goes down. Flags are down. A possible hold on Maryland. Maybe a face mask.
On the flag by number 66, Craig Wilson.
Craig Wilson coming in from his nose tackle stop or spot. But the personal foul. So they get the good play in the sack, but grabbing onto the face mask.
You know, Craig Wilson didn't mean to do it, Coach. I didn't mean to do it. What happens, he's not used to being back there.
Face mask. Defense. 15 yards. 1st down.
Craig Wilson does a nice job fighting off C.J. Brooks. Keeps on fighting. 3-step drop. Quarterback's got to get rid of it. Just unfortunate. Quarterback puts his head down. Your hands get up in her face. And these officials are doing everything they can to protect the quarterback this year.
You see, he had the face mask and he let go of it very quickly, but quarterbacks especially, you can't come up and do that to a quarterback. Now, can you quarterback?
Nah, I mean, quarterbacks are tough. Give him a 5-yarder instead of 15.
They give him the personal foul. That gives Maryland a 1st and 10 at the 36. Penalties mounting for the Mountaineers. And now, Allen goes right up the middle as JoJo Walker was coming around from his wide receiver spot. As Ralph Friedgen, a very innovative offensive mind, likes.
We'll see if West Virginia comes with a big blitz here.
On 2nd and 9, 3 receivers to Statham's right. Here comes the blitz. Lenort coming up the middle. Statham gets rid of it. And that pass is floated out and complete to JoJo Walker. Goes out of bounds right in front of the first down marker. So that time Statham showed some poise in the face of impending doom in the person of Adam Lenort.
Yeah, they were expecting to blitz there, Pam, and Statham did a nice job throwing all the way across the field. It's a difficult pass to complete for a young quarterback, but he showed some signs of getting some momentum here. He's starting to feel a lot more comfortable under center.
Threw 25 passes last season, backing up Scott McBrien, the only quarterback for the Terps who had any experience as far as throwing the ball last year, as far as returning. More pressure, Statham off his back foot, going for Suter, and that is interception written all over it. It went through Suter's hands. The officials look at each other. It's picked off. I don't know why they had to talk about it.
I think he was screened by the receiver as he was falling down. He wasn't able to see if he was inbounds, out of bounds.
Boy, Mike Lorello gets it.
Let's take a look at this. Suter does just a streak route, hits the inside stem, goes up the field. The ball kind of hangs in the air because he's thrown into the wind. Goes right out of the hands of Suter.
It's Anthony Mims with the pick.
That's what you call keep your eyes on the football. Suter has a chance. He tips it right into the defense. Oh, my goodness.
We have had
turnovers that plagued this Maryland team thus far.
Oh, man, and some weird plays so far in this game. It looked like Suter was going to be able to gather that one in with Mims falling backwards. Mims caught it while he was falling on his behind. K.J. Harris continues. 4 turnovers now for Maryland. Statham has thrown 3 interceptions. That last one was sort of an ill-conceived pass, but Suter could have caught it. Harris, he's healthy. Another first down as Matt Weiner tells us string injury. And he's running like he's 100% healthy today. Give it right back to KJ on first down, and he breaks a tackle and picks up a couple of yards when he should have been stopped for at least no gain.
You know, at 6'2", 245 pounds, you would think he'd be a big target to hit. He's just slippery. You know, guys are just bouncing off him. You know, I don't know if he has any silicone in that jersey. I know it's illegal, but, you know, he knows how to get small when the tacklers are coming his way and just let him glance off his pads. They have great, I'm sorry, Pam, they have great communication between the offensive line and KJ. They go to the sideline, talk about, you know, do you need to set him up a little bit more in a running play? Can I get a better angle when I block him?
They do appear to be a well-oiled machine up front. Great veterans on that offensive line for West Virginia. Well, play fake, Marshall keeps it, and he is bounced out of bounds near the first down marker by Garrett McPherson.
That's that play we talked about last series. You know, Rasheed Marshall went over to Coach Rodriguez maybe in between series, said, hey, they're not checking me in the backside. Let's go ahead and fake it to KJ up inside. Get around the outside for a big first, well, close to a first down.
And you see, this is, again, to be expected for West Virginia. They don't even pretend that they want to be balanced. They are a running football team between the talent of Marshall and then guys like K.J. Harris and Jason Colson.
And every team they face, you know, from this point forward, are going to force Rasheed Marshall to beat you through the air. They're going to try to stack guys up the line of scrimmage, but the boys up front are doing a nice job getting up to that next level of linebackers and shielding them away from the ball carrier.
As they measure for the first down, just a little bit short. Coming into this game, West Virginia really 3 times more. They have a 3-to-1 ratio of running the ball over passing, so this is not unusual. Let's go to Dave Ryan.
Yeah, Pam, that great run game really helped by WVU center Tim Brown. Knows a lot about perseverance and never giving up. True freshman in '99, he broke his foot 2 games into the year. Needed surgery, took a medical redshirt. Last year, 3 days before the season opener, ruptured his Achilles tendon twice in a short time. 2 surgeries later, missed the entire season. He says he's never been in such pain and never appreciated college football as much. Got that 6th medical redshirt year. He's back in the lineup and opening big holes for Harris and company today.
He's already graduated, has his degree, and married. His wife, Michelle, helped get him through all that rehab. A great story of perseverance for Brown. Harris, oh, he is stacked up in the middle. Good 7-3. K.J. Harris scoring on a 7-yard run back in the first quarter. West Virginia on the board first, and more K.J. KJ left, KJ right, KJ up the middle. William Kershaw with the stop, but 4 more for Harris.
They're not trying to fool anybody, are they, Pam?
Nope. Just try to stop us, and Maryland so far has not been able to do that.
You know, one thing that West Virginia does well is we talked about them communicating with their coaches up in the box, but they're going through this hurry-up offense, trying to catch them off balance.
Yeah, Maryland, the defense has been on the field for quite a few plays in the first half. 2nd and 6. Marshall going up top for Chris Henry. Oh, and just through his hands. Ray Custis on the coverage, but that was a pretty well-thrown ball.
It was a very well-thrown ball. I question Chris Henry really slowing down at the latter part of that throw or that reception. He's got to run through the catch. He still had yardage on the sideline, get vertically up the field some more. He's kind of throttled down. Maybe he had a hard time picking up the football in the air.
And if there was a knock against Henry, particularly last season, was that he would take plays off. That he would lope sometimes and not go full out. Maybe not the instance there, but it is a kid with incredible physical ability. The Big East Rookie of the Year last year, and I'm sure he knows he should have had that one as well. Sets up a 3rd down now. Big pressure, Marshall. How did he get away? 4 Terrapins tackle air, and Marshall has a spectacular 1st down run.
He's pretty exciting. The senior quarterback for West Virginia. We talked to him yesterday, Pam. Remember, he's talking about Cordell Stewart. He reminds me a lot of Cordell Stewart, a quarterback. They're bringing the heat up front. For some reason, they don't converge on the ball carrier. Rasheed Marshall sees open field, heading for the end zone.
Well, that is a 16-yard gain for Marshall. Picks up a big 1st down. We're inside a minute in the first half. Go here in the first half. And Marshall hands it off to KJ Harris. Harris with over 90 yards rushing so far, but the clock keeps running. To go in the first half. Rasheed Marshall and company converting both 3rd downs on this drive. He's going up top. Marshall over the middle, going for the touchdown, and it's dropped. Boy, Marshall zinged one in there, and Chris Henry was unable to come up with it.
Dangerous throw by Rasheed Marshall. Dangerous throw by Rasheed Marshall. They got 2 deep safeties, got inside help. Looks like he just got screened off in the ball. He got to keep his eyes on the balls and look at all the way into your chest. I know Rasheed wanted that one.
Boy, Rasheed thinking 6. Ray Custis, one of the Maryland defenders. 39-yard field goal attempt for Brad Cooper. Kicked a 54-yarder last year against Central Florida. Kicking this with the wind at his back. And he scored 7 points because of it. And Joel Statham will take a knee, and he's going to take a huge sigh of relief. He has not played well in the first half. He's thrown 3 interceptions. 2 of them were definitely his fault. But yet the Terps are only down 4 going into the locker room.
Yeah, he's going to regroup here in the locker room, get to the coaches, what I feel comfortable with, what I don't feel comfortable with. But the running game has been very dominating for West Virginia.
And Maryland trailing 7-3. Statham just 2 of 8 for 20 yards and 3 interceptions. Pac-Man has had a big first half, but the bottom line, guys, West Virginia only up 7-3 at the break. Matt? Half action about to get underway. West Virginia, number 8 in the country. Maryland also unbeaten. Sloppy first half. West Virginia with a 7-3 lead over Maryland, even though the Terrapins had 4 turnovers. And Maryland will get the football first. A missed field goal at the end of the first half kept it at 7-3. And Steve Suter, the dangerous return man, back deep for Maryland along with Rich Carson. And Maryland will start that one in. And he had another opportunity on the other side of the end zone and was unable to bring in that pass. So West Virginia certainly has had its chances, and Maryland starts off. Josh Allen with the first carry.
Don't worry about a sack so much.
Yeah, Statham does have that ability. In fact, one of the reasons why he wanted to come to Maryland was because of the option looks in their offense. Statham fires that for the first down as he hits Steve Suter. First time Suter has caught a pass today. So Statham had 2 completions in the first half and threw 3 interceptions.
Well, that's only 2 completions. Doesn't help the offense out much. And when you get 3 completions to the other team, that helps the defense out on the opposing side of the field. You want to see him throw with confidence. He did a nice job completing the ball with Steve Suter there.
So Maryland 1st and 10 as they move it out to the 31. This has turned into a glorious late summer afternoon after torrential rains and the hurricane that came through. Josh Allen running like a hurricane, gets it up to midfield. So exactly what Ralph Friedgen was talking to Dave Ryan about. What a great start for the Terps. 19 for Josh on that carry.
I think Coach Friedgen had a nice talk that Rich Rodriguez had in the first half to his teammates. Put the tape on, buckle up, put some air in your helmet, tie those shoelaces real tight.
Yeah, boy, Rich Rodriguez, if you weren't with us at the top of the show, just had a terrific locker room speech. His team came out like gangbusters, but struggled offensively despite getting several opportunities on giveaways from Maryland. First down from midfield. A sold-out crowd. Allen again gets a nice gain, about 6 yards up the right side. Scott Jerko making the stop as we take a look at some of the numbers from the first half. And boy, there you go. The takeaways, but the points off takeaways. You can't just get 7 points out of 4, can you?
No, you can't. We talked about that, as we came out here. Inability to convert those turnovers into points, and time of possession big time in West Virginia's favor.
West Virginia also over 50% in converting third downs, outgaining Maryland 170 to 92, but they're only up by 4. 2nd and 4 for the Terps. As Statham gets Allen a little bit closer for pass protection, sends him out on a pattern. Statham, that's something that didn't happen well. Derek Fenner was in the general vicinity, but that didn't quite work out.
I tell you, the coaches are screaming at him on the sideline, stick with it. He went to a pump and go. He checked to an audible to the short side of the field. Suter was covered pretty well, and he came back to the strike, to the field area, and threw an ill-advised throw, something a young quarterback cannot do.
Fenner is a terrific athlete who has not yet caught a pass. Rich Parson and JoJo Walker, the only guys to catch passes in the first half. Of course, he only completed 2 of them. So now 3rd and 4, big play for both sides to start off the second half. Pressure, Statham, no. 2nd and 4, interesting that they would go with 2 straight passing plays instead of trying to run and get a first down that way. Adam Podlish had a 50-yard punt first time. And boy, that one just trickles in. Stand with the 7 straight wins. KJ Harris, 98 yards in the first half, and he loses a couple on his first carry of the second half. William Kershaw coming up to make the stop for Maryland.
Nice job by Chris Kelly, also kind of forcing the hand of the offense. He came out of the secondary and made it an 8-man front. Kind of nullified the run by KJ Harris there.
And Chris Kelly is quite a story for Maryland, number 2 on defense. His first year as a strong safety, came to the Terps as a very highly regarded quarterback, but tore his ACL 3 times and decided he wanted to play, so they switched him to defense, and he's done a good job. 2nd and 12 as Marshall barks out some changes. Kelly coming on the safety blitz. He's picked up, completed to Chris Henry for the first down. Dominique Foxworth in on the coverage, but Henry picks up 18.
Well, they had a lot of time to get the play call correctly. Chris Henry gets free down the field to bring in a maximum blitz to protect him with 8. Good throw and catch by Marshall and Henry. Again, he just stemming to the inside, a quick 5-step slant route. No one in the middle of the field. Well-executed play.
So Henry, with just his 2nd catch of the day. Dominique Foxworth, fascinating young man for Maryland on the coverage. Graduated in only 3 years. Harris puts his head down, and well, he's tough to tackle. Harris finally goes down, but he picks up about 6.
You know what happens, Pam, once he gets through the line of scrimmage to that second layer where the linebackers are, these safeties come flying up there, and he's getting his pads lower than the defender, and he's rocking some people around back there. Inside zone play to the left side, pulling the guard around. Jackson trying to get a pound in there. Look at Kelly trying to sniff in there. Just a hard-running tailback for the Mountaineers.
And with that run, KJ is over 100 yards for the 2nd time this season and the 2nd time in his career. KJ again, and he's stopped by Dequel Jackson. Jackson now with 10 tackles, but Jackson a big, strong, good tackler, and KJ carries him for a little while. Just amazed by the strength of KJ Harris.
You know, we talked about maybe his endurance as the game gets longer here, Pam. He's shown no signs. His pad level's getting down. He's bending his knees, and he's hitting the defenders as he's rising through the tackle.
Another first down for West Virginia. 1st and 10 from their own 46. They scored way back in the first quarter. Harris on a 7-yard touchdown run. That was set up by a 21-yard interception return by Pac-Man Jones. 1 of 2 picks for him, and this time Harris goes down in the backfield. KJ stopped by William Kershaw. Kershaw's had a pretty active day as well. That's his 5th tackle. Let's go down to Dave Ryan for even more on KJ.
Yeah, but I did speak with WV coach Rich Rodriguez about KJ. Very pleased, pleasantly, with his ability to overcome his hamstring problems you guys were just talking about, to run hard, be a physical back. The trainers, along with the coaches this week, really devoted a lot of time to try to convince KJ the hamstring wasn't as bad as he thought.
And I think maybe KJ believes, and that's tipped away by Dequel Jackson, who got in the middle to knock down that pass. And again, KJ Harris hurting that hamstring, just 2 carries last week. And we talked to him yesterday. He was a little bit upset. The coaches were saying that it was more of a mental thing, and I think they're not saying that it was a psychosomatic thing, but what Rich Rodriguez and his staff and also the team doctor believing that he couldn't hurt it anymore by playing, but KJ had to believe that. And KJ told us yesterday, I know my body, and I'm really kind of scared about playing on this thing.
That's an important point. Number 1 has to feel comfortable about playing, and obviously he's doing a nice job here this afternoon.
3rd and 14. West Virginia's converted 6 of 11, but this is a long one. Coming right up the middle. Marshall again gets away from pressure. And Rasheed Marshall, the senior, picking up a ton of yardage.
We saw this happen twice now. Rasheed Marshall just slipper in the pocket. He has a good feel for where the defenders are. Why don't you go back in the pocket with him? He's sitting back there, no one's open. Here comes the pressure. Scoots out to his right. Doesn't worry about tucking the football because he sees no defender coming. Nice job turning back inside, getting positive yards for this Mountaineer offense.
And you see at the end there, a lot of quarterbacks would slide down, but Marshall just stayed up and took a fairly good hit.
Yeah, he's not going to get hit head on. He'll get down and lower center of gravity a little bit.
9 rushes for 37 yards, but that's skewed because he's lost 24 yards on sacks, which I think is dumb in a college game, that it counts against your rushing. It counts against your passing yards in the National Football League as Colson gets the carry. David Holloway makes the stop. But Rasheed Marshall, again, closing in on the all-time record in the Big East for rushing yards by a quarterback. Donovan McNabb currently holds that. Marshall over 1,300 career rushing yards, even though he's never had a 100-yard game rushing. He's just been a consistent threat. Of course, he's been starting for 3 years, got quite a bit of playing time also as a freshman.
Well, he hasn't had to go over 100 yards because he's got those big tailbacks behind him.
They've done some good things with the tailbacks here at West Virginia, that's for sure. Great talent. 2nd and 6. There's one of the talented tailbacks. They call them superbacks. That's KJ Harris, already over 100 yards, picks up 2 more.
You know, without that big run by Rasheed Marshall, I think this Maryland defense came out well with their plan in the second half. They were crowding the line of scrimmage. The initial penetration is really hurting this West Virginia offense, but with a big run like Marshall had just previously, allows this offense to keep on clicking.
It's got to be frustrating for Gary Blackney. And his team is getting West Virginia into some 3rd and longs, but Marshall has been converting with his feet on a couple of them. This is a 3rd and 4. And Marshall throwing downfield. Chris Kelly with the coverage. As once again, Marshall was looking downfield. That's for Eddie Jackson. But boy, Chris Kelly, again, he's the converted quarterback who has really done a good job. I think a pleasant surprise for the Terrapins as he is turned now into a strong safety, and there he showed good cover skills.
Yeah, he could see what the quarterback's doing back there because he sees the development of the routes. One guy goes vertical, the second guy's coming inside.
Brad Cooper now from 45 yards out. He missed wide right a 39-yarder on the second to the last play of the first half that would have given West Virginia a 10-3 lead. And just like in the first half, the wind is at his back. Maryland calling a timeout.
Timeout on the field.
A 45-yard field goal. He missed from 39. Hit that one wide right late in the first half. He kicked a 54-yarder last week. And that one is true. Cooper throwing up his arms almost right away as West Virginia extends its lead now to 7 over Maryland. So Rich Rodriguez and the rest of the Mountaineers have had a rather frustrating day. Many opportunities to score, and finally Cooper knocks one home. The lead is
Guy, you got to hit him high and you got to hit him low and hold on to him.
Well, Cooper kicking off. Steve Suter gets it about 4 yards deep in the end zone, and he's coming out. He's hurt them in years past on returns, and he does it again. Steve Suter carries it all the way out to the 47-yard line. Brad Cooper, the kicker, helping to scoop.
Hit him.
And they really needed a big play, and Suter gives them excellent field position as they mark it on the 48. First down. Maldonado. Actually, Statham keeps it with the good fake to Maldonado, and Statham picks up the first. It'll be a long day for Louisiana Tech. And here, Maryland 1st and 10. Statham running for the first down, and now the officials, the ACC officiating crew, talk some things over now. Maryland into West Virginia territory.
Will the electric scoreboard operator please reset the game clock? 7 minutes, 26 seconds. Please.
Very polite request from Ron Cherry, our ACC crew, is that they're going to run 5 seconds off the clock. Pretty please.
It always works better when you use your manners.
Yes.
Always.
So Maryland 1st and 10 from the 40. Joel Statham struggling throwing the football. A nice run to pick up this first down for the Terps. Maldonado in the backfield. This time he does get it, and he is stacked up in the backfield. Kevin McClee with the big push as they lose yards. Let's go down to Dave Ryan.
Well, Pam, there is some good news here on the Maryland sideline. Receiver Rich Parson is back on the field. Remember, he went for x-rays in the first half of the back injury. The bad news, he is out for the game with that problem. X-rays were negative. No fracture, but he's in a lot of pain and done for the day, Pam.
Well, at least, Rhino, there is nothing broken there for Parson. It's a senior, one of the leaders on this team from Newark, Delaware, which actually is the home of the University of Delaware, but he came to Maryland to play ball. He's a senior. 2nd and 10, no gain on Maldonado's last run. Now they flare him out of the backfield, and he's down. Maryland going backwards. A terrific defensive play from Mike Lorello.
That play had no chance of working, Pam. They just flared the back out to the right flat. No intermediate routes coming underneath. It just frees up the linebackers in the secondary to converge on the running back.
Lorello, a second-year starter, 6'1", 205, and head coach Rich Rodriguez says pound for pound he might be the strongest guy on his team. That was a 6-yard loss. So it's 3rd and 16, a sold-out crowd of 60,000 people in Morgantown, most of them on their feet. The only people not on their feet, the Maryland fans. Time for Statham over the middle, and that's a huge. So that's a 15-yard gain, longest of the day for Maryland. But they're about 3 or 4 inches short of the first down. They're going for it. Sammy Maldonado with Maurice Smith, the fullback, in front of him. Statham keeps it, as you might expect, and it appears from here at least that Statham got enough of a push from his offensive line.
Just amazes me, Pam, that these side judges can come in and try to spot the ball in a scrum like that. It's just a quarterback keeper, just gets behind the big center, and Schmidt.
The game in your area on ABC Sports. 1st and 10 for the Terps from the 30. Maldonado, nope, Statham keeps it and then pitches it. The ball's on the ground, and Maryland gives it away again. A disastrous day for the Maryland offense as Jason Hardy jumped on it.
They had success with this play in the previous drive here. The quarterback comes out to get a chance to view this replay.
So Maryland on a good-looking drive, but then the fumble on the pitch.
Yeah, Joel Statham just inside belly option. I thought the pitch was pretty nice, but the receiver saw the defender coming. He kind of got those alligator arms.
It was Drew Weatherly, the receiver, who was unable to hold on to the pitch, and deep in West Virginia territory. Now West Virginia gets it back. Marshall, a lot of shake, but nothing to show for it as David Holloway makes the stop.
So either pitching or keeping it, and he pitched it, and that's where he had to fumble.
And as you said, Weatherly was certainly culpable in that play. 2nd and 10. Maryland down by 7, just gave the ball back for the 5th time. Harris, over 100 yards on the day, only gets a couple on that carry before Sean Merriman makes the stop. Maryland has won the last 4 games in this series by a staggering 155-51. Beat them twice last year, and now West Virginia up 10-3. Maryland losing a lot of seniors from last year, including Scott McBrien, who played like Superman whenever he played here at West Virginia, transferred to Maryland, and just crushed this team.
I'm sure they wish they could buy back some of those points to put in the scoreboard today.
Too bad you can't bank them. McBrien threw for 768 yards in 3 games against his old team. And Marshall that time, third punt, he had a 34-yarder and a 32-yarder. So both of them were effective directional punts. This time, Suter, he's not even kicking close to him. He kicked it almost into the crowd. Wow. So Brady wanting an angle, but I don't think quite. Not just our game, but across the country. Great tailgating here at Morgantown, but they're not liking what they're seeing. 5 Maryland turnovers, leading only 7 points. Josh Allen breaking free for a big first down gain. Jamal Adai making the stop, but well downfield.
So you talk about momentum, Pam. You talk about guys taking advantage of missed opportunities. This Maryland team right now, if they could drive it and put it in the end zone, it's going to turn this whole game around.
Josh Allen.
West Virginia's had every opportunity in the world to put this game out of reach.
Though 5 turnovers, leading to only 7 points. They got a field goal earlier in this half, but that was just on a straight possession. 1st and 10 for the Terps on the 28. Back to Allen, tries the right side, and only gets about a yard.
I've seen a lot of those Wolverines in the end zone in Ohio Stadium, and I didn't want to see too many of those guys.
2nd and 9 for Maryland. Statham zips it. Oh, and it's incomplete. Threw it just a little bit behind JoJo Walker, who then got a licking. Statham with a lot of mustard on that one.
He threw it high here because he really didn't get his feet set. He kind of rushed the throw. The ball gets away from him a little bit. Another missed opportunity for West Virginia.
There's a die coming in and laying the wood there on Walker. Maryland offense known for its parity over the past few seasons, but the passing yards way down today in relation to the rushing, in part because Joel Statham has been under pressure and has not responded well to it. Maryland just 1 for 5 on 3rd down today. This is a 3rd and 9. Statham going up into the corner of the end zone, a leaping Suter, and it was a terrible punt. Maryland got great field position and capitalized. We're tied up. Pac-Man, who was beaten on that touchdown, trying to redeem himself. Oh, good tackle. Dave, that was something that young man needed, and you're right, it quieted down these 60,000 folks. And KJ Harris on the carry. Another flag, perhaps too many men again.
Yeah, there are communication problems on personnel alignments and substitutions, but you shouldn't have that coming right off a kickoff. Trying to make big plays.
KJ Harris, 25 carries for 107 yards and a touchdown. And they are giving it to Harris as He is stopped just short of the first down marker by Chris. Quick third quarter in which Maryland has scored the only points. Derek Fenner's 27-yard touchdown pass from Joel Statham to tie it up. And on 3rd and short, the Maryland defense comes up big. Conrad Bolston among those enveloping K.J. Harris.
Okay, the battle's being won at the line of scrimmage right now for Maryland. These Terps are coming off the ball, putting 8 guys up there and just defeating their one-on-one opponent.
That was on 2nd down as the 3rd quarter comes to an end. Maryland has tied this game up at 10 apiece, even though they have 5 turnovers. Rich Rodriguez, the head coach of West Virginia, a native of this state, played here as a walk-on, has done well against the other border schools in Pittsburgh and Virginia Tech, but 0-4 against Maryland. 0-4.
The winner of this game is going to get the upper hand in recruiting, I know that.
Big game, and a big play now on 3rd and 2. Marshall has beaten them a couple of times on 3rd down, but that substitution had it 1st and 5. And again, they don't want to go anywhere.
Around a little bit. And they've got a tie ball game right now. It's up to anyone to win this game.
Maryland has turned the ball over 5 times, but West Virginia has only been able to score 7 points off those turnovers. Statham, touchdown pass last time he threw it, and a blown coverage is Chatsworth, Georgia. Sammy Maldonado slips a tackle, and then 2nd and 11 as Maldonado lost a yard on that stumbling play. Statham, under pressure, gets rid of it. Virginia, the biggest game for West Virginia, possibly all season. Statham keeps it himself on 3rd and 3 and gets the first down. How do you like that? Offense was a terrific offensive coordinator with Georgia Tech before Debbie Yao hired him at Maryland. 1st and 10 from the 48. And there's Sammy the Bull Maldonado, and Maryland is starting to pound it out now on the ground. Sammy Maldonado in the backfield behind Joel Statham. Jojo Walker in motion. They give it to Maldonado, and Sammy picks up another first down for Maryland. Draw on 3rd and 3, and he made it easily. 1st and 10 now for the Terps on the 40 of West Virginia. Maldonado off the left side of that Maryland line, keeps it going, and Pac-Man Jones tackles him down. Mark D'Antonio, the fine defensive coordinator at Ohio State, now in charge of Cincinnati, is Syracuse. Rough start to their season, trying to get a win. Maldonado taking over for Josh Allen, doing the lion's share of the work in the run game, close to a first down.
Yeah, Ben Lynch has had a long afternoon. Nose tackle for West Virginia. He's got a shoulder problem. He sprained his shoulder the first game of the season. Last week he sat out. He's getting battle tested right now. Like Kyle Schmidt's All-American potential center. Those guys go back a long ways. They played in a high school all-star game together. The Big 33 Classic in Ohio and Pennsylvania.
And a lot of battles, obviously, as Maryland and West Virginia play every year. Allen has checked in for Maldonado. And he gets it. Nice cut back inside to at least get about a yard on that play. Maryland inside the 30 of West Virginia. Jamal Adai coming up with the stop for the Mountaineers. But this Maryland offense, this is night and day between what we saw in the first half.
It's almost as if they put the video on of the first half in a locker room for 20 minutes, said, here, guys, here's the mistakes. We take care of our own house. Don't turn the football over. We could beat this team. We've done it before, and we could do it again. It's up to you for 30 minutes.
And Statham has been the real turnaround guy. 3 interceptions and only 2 completions in the first half. And you see the yards squarely in favor of Maryland here in the second half. This was one of its first 2 ball games. We expected a very tight, good game, and we've gotten it. 2nd and 9 for Maryland. They have no more timeouts. Statham with protection. Oh, that one is thrown. Pac-Man is everywhere. He was looking for Drew Weatherly again, but Pac-Man, with a couple of interceptions today, almost had number 3.
You talk about a quarterback developing from week 1, week 2, week 3. Here's a situation. Maybe you can tuck the football down in the red zone. When you make yourself mobile, some big plays happen.
He has the ability to do that, but chose to make that pass instead. So now 3rd and 10. Statham over the middle. Boy, he floated that one. And another opportunity for West Virginia. Boy, he was looking for JoJo Walker. But Larry Williams was among those in the area. Another dangerous pass thrown by Statham.
You know, first down, they were winning at the line of scrimmage with the running game. The last 2 situations, they went to incomplete passes on 2nd down, 3rd down. Again, Joel Statham, the last play, didn't step into it. He wished he could have that one back. If not, run the football, at least try to make a better completion or a better throw.
Nick Novak, one of the best kickers in the country, is hit from 31, but this one is from 46. The wind at his back, but swirling off to the right. Novak's kick. His longest of this young season. He has a career long of 54, so the 46 would have been good from 54. He really hit the ball well. And Maryland has its first lead of this game. West Virginia might look back at the end of this one, Mike, say, hey, we had all these opportunities with the 5 takeaways and unable to capitalize, and now West Virginia has to play from behind.
Well, they got 9 minutes to justify who they really are in this Big East.
And Pac-Man Adam Jones thinks twice and decides to take a knee instead of bringing it out from about 5 yards deep. Maryland certainly has given West Virginia opportunities. The 5 takeaways and just 7 points off of it. You had a punt, a fumble, a missed field goal, and another punt surrounding the touchdown.
They had a minimum of 12 points there. They got the touchdown here. They get 3, possibly for 3 there. That's 12 points that are missed opportunities. That really hurts a ball club, especially when trying to complement the defense.
But instead, they went into the locker room with only a 7-3 lead at the half, got a field goal to go up 10-3. Derek Fenner has caught a touchdown pass, Nick Novak's 46-yard field goal, and just like that, Maryland's up by 3. Marshall looking for the home run ball, going deep, and that one is thrown well in front of his intended receiver, Chris Henry. Dominique Foxworth with the coverage. So that was Brandon Miles, number 7. It was really his true deep threat on this team. And Foxworth was all over him.
I tell you, Rashid had every opportunity to make this completion. He had no pressure in the pocket. I thought it was a good play call. It was poorly executed by the quarterback. There was no free safety in the middle of the field. You had a chance for a big play there.
But instead, unable to capitalize. Now 2nd and 10, and there you capitalize. K.J. Harris running for the first down and a whole lot more. Chris Kelly tackles him. And that is a huge gain for the Mountaineers. 18 yards for K.J.
Yeah, 18 stumbling yards. He's not 100%. He's limbering a little bit. He sees that backside cutback. He's just looking for a place to get some more yards and kind of get down. You can see he's not 100%. He's kind of dragging that left leg.
Has that hamstring injury. He hurt it in last week's game. Only was able to carry the ball 2 times. He's done very well today. 28 carries, 128 yards, and a touchdown. Very gingerly was he walking yesterday with it. And that's a perfectly thrown pass to Henry. Chris Henry catches it for the first down as he beat Garrett McPherson. Nice touch by Marshall.
Pam, perfectly thrown football. 2 plays ago, he had an opportunity to make a big play. Comes back to Chris Henry, his big play receiver. Does a nice job stemming back towards the inside right before the ball comes over his shoulder. Again, well executed. He knows where the ball is going. Rasheed Wallace needed that completion to keep this drive going.
3rd catch for Chris Henry for 53 yards. Big first down into Maryland territory as Colson kicks his line is he's never beaten the Terps, and that's what people here in this town know.
That's all that matters. That's all that matters here.
He's heard it for the last 3 years. McQuell Henderson makes his first catch, and he picks up another. 1st and 10 from the 26. Colson right up the gut. Merriman tackles him, but that's another 4 or 5 yards.
Job at the offensive line.
Harrison Colson joined Marshall in the backfield. On 2nd and 5, Colson gets it. Merriman again makes a tackle. That's a 2-yard gain, so 3rd down coming up. 10 tackles now for Sean Merriman, only a junior, one of those fine defensive players that Gary Blackney can count on week after week. Merriman actually is a good buddy of LeVar Arrington. Went to the same high school as Arrington's brother, and he got to know LeVar, and he says that he's like my big brother. And they have chats frequently. Not a bad guy to talk to if you're a linebacker or now a defensive end.
That's probably going to be his position at the next level if he makes it there. But, you know, just a perfect athlete to play the outside defensive end spot.
Went to Frederick Douglass High School in Upper Marlboro, Maryland. So now 3rd and 3. A great game. Sloppy in the first half, but it's turned into a good old-fashioned border war battle here in the second half. Huge 3rd and 3 for the Mountaineers. Down by a field goal. And Marshall's going to throw it. They're going for the touchdown, and it is incomplete. Looking for Brandon Miles, but Ruben Hagler step for step.
I know we still have time in the clock. We still got 6:24 left, a 3rd and 3 call. I might have went to the power running game. Rasheed Marshall covered too deep. You got Hagler back there defending. I think it was just a poorly thrown football.
Well, Hagler, known as a really good cover cornerback, and he showed it there. Brad Cooper trying to tie it up from 37 yards out. He missed from 39 back in the first half and made one earlier. And we got ourselves a tie ball game again. Cooper is now hit from 45 and 37 yards in the second half, and West Virginia has tied up this game at 13. Not going to be 45-0 right now. They just want to beat Maryland, period, because they haven't done that since 2000. Short kick is fumbled, muffed by the Maryland up man. Oh, boy. And the Terps just hanging on to that football.
That's a very effective kicking game. Design called.
First and 10 from the 32.
Sorry, Pam. The defensive line here has got to match this offensive line. Got to be some stalemate at the line of scrimmage.
And now the West Virginia fans coming back alive. Statham with the pitch. This time it works. He gets it to Suter, and Suter picks up the first down for the turn. And both trying to build on this as they head into their conference schedules. This is a great rivalry. They've played every year since 1980. First met in 1919. Josh Allen gets around the corner and gets it up to midfield. Pick it up about 3 yards. Maryland and West Virginia playing in Morgantown. West Virginia unbeaten, number 8 in the country. The consensus pick to win the Big East. Pam Ward joined by Mike Tomczak and Dave Ryan. A lot of turnovers, Maryland with 5 of them, but West Virginia only able to score 7 points off of those turnovers. Maryland coming back after a terrible first half. Offensively, Joel Statham threw 3 picks in the first half. Took the lead at 13-10, but Brad Cooper has just kicked a field goal to tie it up. One of the best games of the weekend. We expected it, and we're getting it. Allen, not much.
Talk about tighten your chin strap up, put some more air in your helmet. Ben Lynch, one of your leaders on the defense, starting to hear some noise from him.
And you see that right shoulder and arm taped up for Lynch. Did not play at all last week because he strained his shoulder against East Carolina, but there's no way we're going to keep Ben Lynch out of this game.
Not at all. These fans are into 3rd and 5. They're going to try to get the ball back for him.
Statham throws it underneath and stops short of the first down. 4th and a short 2. Maryland has made both of its 4th downs this season, including one today. West Virginia in the neutral zone. If there was contact, it's all over. Flags are down.
You know, you heard Coach Rodriguez in the locker room. Play smart.
That's not smart. Exactly what Maryland wanted. They get a gift first down.
Offside, contact, 92 on the defense, 5 yards. The results of the penalty down.
You talk to these guys in meetings all week. Be conscious of this hard count. 4th and 2. Don't get. There's 3 or 4 guys out here on the left side that made contact. We're in a neutral zone. Not a smart football team defensively when you beat yourself in a 4th and 2 play.
Yeah, they finger Ben Lynch, but you're right. There were at least 2 or 3 other guys who could have been whistled for. Good hard count by Statham. 1st and 10 from the 39 for the Terps. Tie ball game. And coming around from the wide receiver spot, stopped down is 2nd and 12. from the 41. Statham keeps it. Sidesteps one. This is a 3rd and 5 for Maryland. Handoff to Allen, cuts it upfield. He stops short of the first down. Still a couple.
The middle, he's going to try to drive this football with the wind behind him.
It's already hit from 46 in this quarter. This one from 49 and the lead. Novak's kick is no good. He pushed it wide left, and we're still tied in Morgantown.
Yeah, Maryland did a nice job putting himself in a position to have a field goal attempt. Nick Novak just pushed a little bit to the left. He had the distance.
Very rare indeed for him to miss a field goal.
Nice snap, nice hold. He just punched it.
So this game remains tied with only 1:15 left to go. And KJ Harris, who got over 100. And Jeff Burke, good to see that he's able to at least limp off under his own power. 2nd and 6 for the Mountaineers in a tie ball game. Time for Marshall. Good coverage downfield, so he uses his feet again. And Marshall stops the clock now with 46 seconds left as we take it piece. West Virginia with a lot of expectations on this season. Big game. 3 games into the year. Marshall, first down, no, it is incomplete, or did he get it? McQuell Henderson, yes! Wow, Henderson with the tip ball. At first it looked like he didn't get it, but Henderson with a huge 12 yards and a first down.
That was a huge throw and catch. McKeel Henderson going up high to catch that.
Marshall just kills the clock now with 39 seconds left to go. West Virginia has 1 timeout left. Maryland has burned all of their timeouts. So McQuell Henderson, who's been very quiet so far this season, only had 1 catch in the first couple of games. Coming up with a huge catch there.
Well, if this gets West Virginia over top, at least for a field goal opportunity. That catch right there by McQuell Henderson. Talk about throwing into traffic.
Slowed by it.
He came back for the football and got his first reception of the afternoon.
And it was a huge one. So now 2nd down for West Virginia. Marshall, time, throws complete. Yes, that's Henry. Chris Henry on the sidelines, getting in front of Garrett McPherson. That's his 4th catch today. 34 seconds left.
Now, Maryland's been rolling the coverage to Chris Henry's side most of the afternoon. There was one time where the safety came over, but the corner sloughed off and gave enough room on the sideline.
Brad Cooper, remember, he's had a 54-yard field goal last week. He's hit from 45 today. Marshall, again a completion to Henderson. So Henderson, who was slowed by ankle injuries earlier, but he rolls down and does not get out of bounds. He's hoping for a first down measurement. Clock stopped briefly, but they have not moved the chains on the far sidelines, and now Marshall spikes it to kill the clock. And there's Brad Cooper hoping for his opportunity. Has missed a couple, but you see the career long. He hit a 54-yarder last week against Central Florida. He's been rather inconsistent coming into this game, or for his career, just 1 of 6 from 40 to 49.
You just hate to see it wasted down to stop the clock. Rasheed Marshall probably did a quarterback sneak there. Got the first down. It was a first down, I'm sorry.
Yeah, it was a first down. They did not move the chains on the far side until very late. Marshall 3 for 3 on the stride, not counting the spikes, is right up the middle. Those senior from Bowling Green, Kentucky, trying to win this game from 44 yards out. And Cooper's kick is going to be wide right, but flags are down.
The defense was moving, I know that. Maybe it cost somebody in the offense a jump.
Flags were down before the play even started. The kick was wide right. Maryland's offsides, so West Virginia gets another opportunity.
Remember that 4th and 2 play that West Virginia was on defense? They went offside. Now Maryland does the same thing. Don't beat yourself mentally by giving them free yardage.
Boy, this game, we've seen everything in this game, Mike. Weird turnovers, crazy plays, questionable penalties, and some bad penalties.
Offside, defense. It's a 5-yard penalty. Snap 3rd down.
If, in fact, Brad Cooper makes this, I've never been part of a game, Pam, when you turn the football over 5 times and still in this ball game.
So now a 39-yard attempt for Brad Cooper to win this game for West Virginia. It's blocked. Maryland blocks the chance, and West Virginia has that field goal attempt blocked. We are looking at overtime. Only fitting that this game should go into overtime. Maryland and West Virginia tied up at 13. 60 minutes not enough to decide this one. Maryland and West Virginia, these two rivals going after each other since 1919, and this great rivalry. This is going to be not one of the better played games or prettier games, but certainly one of the classics. This blocked field goal sends us into overtime.
I think it's Conrad Bolston right in the middle, 95. Just that right paw up there, just knocks it off course.
It's a nice big push up the middle by the Terps.
Yeah, it was Conrad.
All right, we are going into overtime, and much better rules than what the NFL has. There's a coin toss. You get to, if you win it, you choose offense, defense, or the end of the field. You get one possession from the 25-yard line until a winner is decided. There's no game clock, but you still have the play clock. And after the second overtime is completed, you have to go for 2 points on a touchdown. Let's go to.
It's amazing how many college teams put so much emphasis in the overtime, and their offense changes completely when you get in the overtime segment.
Maryland gets the football first. And Josh Allen gets nothing on first down. Kevin McClee coming up to make the stop. McClee, a sophomore from Uniontown, Pennsylvania.
He's just down the road also. He's a hero around here.
Nickname is Boo. Coaches really like his athleticism, and he showed it there by chasing down Allen. No gain. 2nd and 10 for the Terps here in overtime. Blitz coming. They pick it up. And wide open, right in the middle of the field, they find JoJo Walker. Statham gets him. See a tackle down at the 17-yard line by Adam Lenort.
Well, Joe Statham's had people around him all day, but he hasn't been sacked this afternoon. When he has time in the pocket, he's pretty good at throwing and completing the ball.
Offensive line doing a good job for Ralph Friedgen and company. Now 3rd and 2. Josh Allen, tailback behind fullback Maurice Smith. Smith goes in motion to help block for Allen, and he, with second effort, still appears to be short of the first down.
There's their famous power G play.
Terps the lead in the first overtime. And
confident, looking forward to making a big kick there, and he delivered.
he sure did, and it's good to see him that he can be that loose. And Marshall, taken off on first down, is dragged down from behind. Boy, that's a good tackle by David Holloway, because Marshall had a lot more green in front of him.
And David Holloway's been all over the field today, and you got 10 tackles. You're going to see the ball in the hands of number 2 in this overtime period, because he's a playmaker. If not him, he's going to go vertically down the field to Chris Henry.
Picked up 5 on first down, so now 2nd and 5 for the Mountaineers. Marshall looks over to get an updated signal. Ooh, the play clock still in play. They snap it with about 3 seconds left, and a big first down run for KJ Harris inside the 15.
Like I said, Pam, you give the ball to Rasheed Marshall, and he'll hand it off to KJ. Yeah. At least it touched his hands. 2
big play guys. Harris piling up the yards. Now 31 carries for 141 yards and the touchdown. First down from the 13. A touchdown wins it for the Mountaineers. Maryland on the blitz. Marshall goes around the right side and he just throws his body into the field and is knocked out of bounds at around the 8-yard line. Picks up 5.
Did you see KJ Harris blow somebody up there in the lead blocker for that quarterback draw? Number 1, KJ Harris, not only has done it on the ground all day, but he's protecting his quarterback, leading him around the right side.
Harris is a load at 6'2", 245. And Marshall, 47 yards now on the ground. KJ Harris well over 100, and a terrific block to help spring Marshall. 2nd and 5 now from the 8. KJ, not much there as he is stacked up at the line of scrimmage.
You know, Maryland has to be careful. No one's accounting for Rasheed Marshall and those fake bootlegs.
But had he kept the ball, that would have been 6 points. Henry Scott, though, stacking up KJ Harris. And now with 3rd and 4, Gary Blackney hoping his defense can come up with one more stop. Harris with 142 yards. Average 172 per game because of the big 337 in game 1.
Yeah, they're bringing the blitz here. You might see him check to an audible.
Marshall in the air for the touchdown and the win. Chris Henry catches the pass in the end zone, and for the first time since 2000, West Virginia has beaten Maryland.
A lot of weights lifted up to that coach's shoulders. Coach Rodriguez, not only a player, the head coach here at his alma mater, finally beat the Maryland Terps.
And Morgantown is going crazy. They've already taken down the goalposts on both sides. They have these collapsible goalposts now that you can buy so that the students don't rip them up. Well, wow, what a terrific win for West Virginia. So much frustration against this Maryland Terrapin program. They've been beaten handily by them 4 straight times, including twice last year. Rich Rodriguez, that big monkey's off your back. You finally have beaten Maryland.
Not only off of his back, but all these fans from West Virginia country. I know Mike Patrick's jumping in his chair right now.
All those West Virginia fans are thrilled as Marshall just zipped this puppy into Henry.
Rasheed Marshall, token fake inside, looks to his left. He knows he's coming back to the right on a slant route. Chris Henry just sticks his defender on the outside. Again, Chris Henry starting the outside, stems inside, knows the ball's coming his way. Game over.
That was a perfectly thrown pass from Marshall, who for the first time in his career has defeated Maryland. So the 6th touchdown thrown by Marshall this year, and that's the biggest one. Chris Henry gets it, and West Virginia beats Maryland 19-16. Coming up next is College Game Day Now, presented by Acura. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For more information, log on to ESPN.com. For Dave Ryan and Mike Tomczak, I'm Pam Ward. What an exciting victory. West Virginia finally beats the Terps. The final 19-16 Mountaineers. So long from Morgantown.